9 million Americans were wrongly told they were approved for student loan forgiveness. CBS News reporting about 9 million Americans with student loans who had applied for Biden administration's student debt relief program mistakenly received emails last month that said their applications have been approved. The messages were part of updates the Department of Education issued in November to inform 16 million debt relief applicants that had been approved to have up to $20,000 forgiven. But an additional 9 million people received emails saying they received loan forgiveness when they had not been approved for relief because the process was halted due to legal challenges. And others who hadn't yet applied for the student loan relief program also received the email. The error was made by the Federal Services, a contractor for the Education Department, which sent the emails. The mistake may only compound confusion among some borrowers about the debt relief program, which for now remains in limbo due to several legal challenges, with the Supreme Court earlier this month agreeing to hear one of the cases in February.
Oh, I saw this yesterday, and this just annoys me. Come on. There's enough confusion around this already. 9 million people getting an email saying they've been approved. Why were there even emails sent out in the first place saying they've been approved when this hasn't passed? This program hasn't passed. It's not in action. Why were 16 million people, quote unquote, approved when they haven't actually been approved? The program hasn't been approved.
Well, Biden had approved it, and he had issued the announcement, but none of the systems were in place to cause the approvals to actually happen. And knowing that there were legal challenges to his program, which may yet need a congressional approval, we don't know, we'll see. Lots of stuff up in the air, but given all of that, this is just, it's a political play. They accidentally told 50% more people that they had approval than did, accidentally. So at a minimum, we have a level of incompetence that is only tolerated at the federal government level. This level of incompetence, if Ramsey Solutions sent out an email to 50% more people than we were supposed to, telling them we were going to give them money. Can you imagine? Yeah, that level of incompetence in the business world, how we would have reacted to the people internally that did that.
Right. It would be a train wreck.
Yeah, and instead they went, oh, oops.
Well, and I think that's what's so crazy is, the 16 million people who got the email that was, supposedly correct, and then they're sending out these refund checks. How do they know the difference about what's going on?
You don't. You can't tell, because you don't know if you got one of the real emails or one of the ones that was wrong.
But even if they got the real email and then they got the refund check,
there's still no forgiveness because it's not been gotten through the court system.
Right. So even if the semantics of the timeline of this 16 million were before the court order and then this 9 million's after, right now, the reality is the program hasn't passed. Right now, it is still in limbo. There is no guarantee right now that student loan forgiveness is going to happen. It might.
None.
But there's not a guarantee.
No guarantee. None whatsoever. And, but this is at a minimum a gross level of incompetence. Or if you wanted to be more cynical, you could go, well, they did this on purpose.
What do you think, Dave? Did they do this on purpose?
It's too large to be an oopsie. If you said, okay, 16 million and we sent out 1 million as an oops. Okay. But 9 million? The effort it takes to get 9 million emails out? That's not one little guy with 2 keystrokes. That's not how that works. So,
I feel okay, so Dave, people have been asking me, do you think that there is any chance this program is going to be approved? And I know a lot of people have strong opinions that they feel like there's no way that it's going to be approved. But I kind of feel like we have a government that is so obsessed with debt that they've literally led us trillions of dollars into debt. They've made moves like this. I could see it going both ways in the sense of they're not afraid to put us more in debt.
There's so many things have happened in all areas of our society in the last 10 years that I thought would never happen in my life. So what do I know? I certainly wish it was not going to be approved, but I don't, and I don't think it's going to be anytime soon. And I know for sure that if you've got $25,000 in student loan debt and 10,000 of it goes away with this, that I'm 100% sure you will not hate yourself for just going in and paying off your debt, because it is your debt. There's that key part of it too. So you clean up your life and you don't wait on the government to fix your life. I can't really figure out what the flip they're going to do. It's the island of misfit toys. You don't know where they're going to come from next. What they're playing politics with it for sure. But under there somewhere is also the belief that they should actually do this at some point. And so I don't know how long they got to wear out the court system, whether they got to run it through Congress, what has to happen. But, oh, my gosh.
I feel like for me, if it gets approved and people get their loans forgiven, like I will cheer for the people who are out of debt. I will cheer for the people who had their debt reduced. What scares me, though, is what is happening with kind of the trickery and confusing people. And that's where I'm like, go ahead and pay off your loans now, because that is the thing you can do to control the situation. This is so up in the air. I think this is really confusing a whole generation on what the responsibility is with debt and what they need to do to get control of their finances. So, man, it just breaks my heart what's happening, because I've seen the pain in people's voices when they're like, man, I thought I was debt free. I was counting on this $20,000 in student loan forgiveness. I'm a Pell Grant recipient. And then they're like, wait, what? Am I debt free or am I not? And that's just sad. You can get debt free regardless.
This is what happens when you wait on the government to fix your life.